I got you. Let it vibe real quick. Look. The city eyes, it's time to vote God. My God, a real nigga, cause he wasn't no flaw. Posted on the corner like a watchdog. Family secure, got that shotty in the closet by the mob ball. Fuck what they heard, but tell them it's all true. Be cautious, that foundation falls till you fall through. They gon' fall. Look, I keep this shit 50 times 2. Ain't no more heart in this game, I'm John Q. Colder than the avalanche, way above average. Beers taste sweet, told him make me an apple crisp. Left us in the valley full of bones, this where hope found. Child become a man, dark sands get broke down. Riding through Evanston with Mark Quad, telling me how them crackers turn his childhood to a ghost town. Focus out, nigga, I lay that game down. I feel his pain, cause nothing is the same now. Never light shine like heaven through a rain cloud. Glock have a fit like my child, no tangent. Try to warn them niggas we bear arms like tarantulas. Them other niggas rap, I make anthems. I really see profits under this banner. Make my enemies bow down on camera. Told my design I wanted black and white like a panda. I'm better than that nigga that sunk dirty to handle. Look, I move like a Brazilian, precious cargo. Spirit Asian, but I got a new semi-auto. Wave that bitch around like where's Wardo. Sleep if they won't, I cut through they Z's like I'm Zorro. Pay me for his name, so I gotta keep that steel clutch. Trust me, I'm not what you think. I squeeze till it click like Dorothy when the heels touch. The world got me dumb, I don't feel much. Ride around with Yaradon, just left the state bridge. Looking for a bitch better than Baby's kid. Remember I dropped Quiet Storm, I've been gone ever since. Still in the field, fuck them niggas on the fence,
According to God, the white man is the devil.
You see, I've been in here for a little minute. You know what I'm saying? And I see niggas, they like to talk a lot. They like to claim leadership. They like to claim this and that. You know what I'm saying? They like to be above what they really is and have authority. But they don't really need that authority. They don't really know what to do with that leadership. You understand? You hold hands with this white ass, need to stop and ask you to give a damn what you talk about. Don't give a fuck what you believe, nigga. Gotta stand up and serve my God. We don't pray on our knees, nigga. Yeah. See, everybody ain't with all that peace talk. Everybody ain't with all that bygone. Boy, ass need to stop and ask you to prop. It's about to get serious. When they hit us with dope and kill us with crack, where the fuck with your leaders? I'm curious. He cashed out on your blood, traded you in and bought a new biz. Ask you the prophets, I tell you the scheme. If you don't wake up, you gon' die in your dreams. I say you won't tell you no more. I swear these crackers try to kill us slow. Just spoke to a nigga and fed it up on parole because of the COVID. It feel like the host in this world that don't go together. Nowhere is gold in the ghetto. I'm in the city blazing with my niggas. Just told the devil the score never settled. Yeah, see the prophets. I'm tired of these niggas keep talking about, you respect my religion, I respect your religion. Boy, your ass need to stop and ask you the prophets. Like we all come together. They say God so loved the world. God so loved the world, and boy, your ass need to stop and ask you the prophets. Give a damn what you talk about. Don't give a fuck what you believe, nigga. Gotta stand up and serve my God. We don't pray on our knees, nigga. Yeah. Hey, gentlemen, y'all, we don't pray on our knees, nigga. Gotta stand up. You know what I'm saying? Boy, your ass need to stop and ask shit. Wrong with step, I'm solid for show. To the fake niggas, stay silent, I got it, let's go. I ain't taking no losses, ain't no talking when we got the flow. Ain't no peace, just play with your own. I'ma be loyal to the right arm. Tell them we can't keep me slave. And I can never let bygone be bygone. Got your baby mother on high. Your baby pass through the fire. Ask you the prophets, that baby soul belong to the Lord. How dare you abort it? Devil will failure, bitch, I can afford it. I prepare slaughter, you bring me my water. Push your leaders weak, let them lies slip through their teeth. Their ass need to stop and ask you the prophets.
Fuck wrong with you, boy? You know what time it is, nigga.
Better watch how you step in. Yeah. But that for my niggas. Got my nigga Ramon with me. But that for my niggas, it'll be an honor. You know what I'm saying? Under commanding general, your honor. That for my niggas, it'll be an honor and a blessing. Look. Hey, straight off the top, I love all of my niggas. That shit ain't gon' stop till we on top when we ballin', my nigga. We be fly as fuck, you know them bitches be stalking my niggas. That shit'll never change, and it's the same with all my niggas. City to city, I should be at home. That's what my ribs say. But bitch, I'm grown on many streets and closed caption. Niggas know we bout that action. If a nigga play with me, then my heart can gon' let him have it. Hey, thank you the shit, this truth the shit. Nigga play, I let that Ruger hit. Get on them tracks, they be like, who is this? I'm rude with it. Ain't got no manners. All them pussy niggas talking shit. Y'all know they can't stand us, but we UPK, Louisiana, bitch, that's what I'm ripping. And my niggas solid number, real ones in my section. If you wanna get down, put your boots on, start stepping. Brotherhood is a weapon. Brotherhood is a weapon. Better watch how you stepping, cause brotherhood is a weapon. If I die for my niggas, it'll be an honor and a blessing. Better watch how you stepping, cause brotherhood is a weapon. Brotherhood is a weapon. Better watch how you stepping, cause brotherhood is a weapon. If I die for my niggas, it'll be an honor and a blessing. Better watch how you stepping, cause brotherhood I lay my life down right now for all my sisters and brothers, because I love them. I see them dapping and hug them. It's amazing to see how well we adapt from the struggle. Born again from a life of sin, trapped in the gutter. My mind frame was to kill my own kind. Feeling inferior, waking up ready to die. Run with them killers, so it's just a matter of time. For I take your life or let you take mine. That's when I realized the slaves killing slaves while the white man live to get old. We in them graves, shit got me feeling played. I opened the Bible, went through them records, found out we was royalty, a nation to be respected. But in this world we rejected, we hated for our complex. Still fighting to get accepted. We hear the truth and reject it, but love is getting corrected. And all my niggas correct me. The commandments, the foundation we erected. Brotherhood is a weapon. Brotherhood is a weapon. Better watch how you stepping, cause brotherhood is a weapon. If I die for my niggas, it'll be an honor and a blessing. Better watch how you stepping, cause brotherhood is a weapon. Brotherhood is a weapon. Better watch how you stepping, cause brotherhood is a weapon. If I die for my niggas, it'll be an honor and a blessing. Better watch how you stepping, cause brotherhood is a weapon. Hey, hey. Hey, hey.
Hey, Shalom, Israel. Yabashim Yashai brought the thumb to the brothers. Yashim thumb Bashim Yashai to the sisters. I'm Police Officer Parak holding out a Sabbath service for the ISUPK coming straight out of Phoenix, Arizona. All right, if you're watching online, at the very bottom of the screen, I'm putting up the class address, 12416 North 28th Drive. We're in Phoenix, Arizona, suite number 4, right off of the corner of 28th Drive and Cactus. All right, we got classes every Tuesday through Friday at 7 p.m. And every Saturday, we hold our Sabbath service at 11 a.m. All right. And that's what today is. Today is the Sabbath. All right. And as per the Bible, we congregate. The Bible in Leviticus, the 23rd chapter, tells us that the Sabbath day is a holy convocation, meaning a holy gathering or a separate gathering. All right. This ain't your Christmas party. This ain't your Thanksgiving dinner. This is a holy convocation according to the Most High. It's separate from the world. And it is a commandment to observe this day. If you've been following along with us for the past few weeks, we're going through the entire Bible. All right. We're going through the entire Bible, verse by verse, chapter by chapter, book by book. Okay. And that means that we started off at Genesis 1. If you've been with us since the past few weeks, you were able to read Genesis 1, get the breakdown of the understanding of how the entire universe was created, what it actually means. All right. We went through Cain and Abel. We went through Noah and the ark. And now we're getting through some genealogies. And we're going to talk about Abraham today. All right. Today we're going to talk about Abraham. Specifically, today's class is titled The Faith of Abraham. All right. Today's class is entitled The Faith of Abraham. We're going to talk about the faith of Abraham because we're going to find out today in our reading that the Lord he handpicked Abraham, or Abram, as we'll read, amongst all of the different people after Noah and his family repopulated the earth. All right. The Most High handpicked handpicked Abram to be his chosen seed line. And see, what we're going to find out is that the Bible is very bloodline specific, or this Bible has never been about. When we read this, we're going to find out, and all this is all throughout the Old Testament and the New. And when we read this, you'll find that the Most High never intended this Bible to be about everybody. This is a historical record of the bloodline of the children of Israel. All right. And what we'll find out is that, if you've been to church or you know anything about the Bible at all, you find out Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and they begat the 12 tribes. And so it's always been about the Israelites. And so today we'll be going into the faith of Abraham. We're going to find out that the Most High handpicked Abram to be the progenitor of the seed line for Israel. And he required some things from Abraham that were hard. Right. We'll find out that he was uprooted from his family, uprooted from his hometown. He had to move into these different lands, and the Most High had to guide his steps everywhere he went. And we'll find out today that a lot of people are most likely not willing to do what Abraham did. You're not willing to uproot your life for the Most High like Abraham did. And so we'll get into it, right? We'll get into it. We'll get right on into it. It's a lot here. We'll get right on into it. So what we're going to do, of course, this being a Sabbath service, we're going to open up with the prayers. Then we'll get into the reading in the Hebrew out of the Torah. And then we'll break it down into English, get some precepts, get a good understanding of all of this. All right. So we're going to open up with the prayers. So I imagine, which means to stand. Panyagudan, which means to turn and face the east. Once again, we're going to open up with the prayers, beginning with the Lord's Prayer in the Hebrew. Abanawa, Shabbat Shemayim, Kodash, Hayah, Shamka, Yahweh, Alakwaka, Taba'ah, Atazaka, Hayah, Aisha, Ba'arataza, Kawa, Hayah, Bashamayim, Natamanawa, Lacham, Kal Yawam, Basalakanawa, Kawatnawa, Kasalaknawa, Kawatinawa, Wala'ah, Tabiyanawa, Banasai 1, Abal, Awashanawa, Mayan, Rakaya, Raka, Amalagwa, Wa'ala, Matapara, Laiwalemyam, Aman. The Lord's Prayer in English. Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Yahweh, thy kingdom come. Thy will be done in earth, as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread. And forgive us our debts, as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory forever. So be it. We're going to read the Hakat with the power and the Hebrew. Yahweh, Hashem Yahushai, Babakushai, Bathanahu Hakat, Hakat Larapa'ah, Kal Maka'ala, Wakal Madawa, Hakat Latahar, Hamat Azariah, Hakat Lakwayam, Hamathiam, Hakat, Awakawa, Atama Allah, Lagar Shun, Hashem Yahushai, the Wadaman. The Hakat with the power in the English. Yahweh,
Yahweh.
in the name of Yahweh Shai,
Name Yahweh Shai.
please give us the power.
Please give us the
The
power.
power to heal all manner of sickness.
The power to heal all manner of sickness.
And all manner of disease.
And all manner of disease.
The power to cleanse the lepers.
The power to cleanse the lepers.
The power to raise the dead.
The power to raise the dead.
The power against unclean spirits.
The power against unclean spirits.
To cast them out.
To cast them out.
In the name of Yahweh
In
Shai.
the name of Yahweh Shai.
Thank you, so be it.
Thank you, so be it.
I'm going to read the prayers to bless Israel in the Hebrew. Yahweh,
Yahweh.
Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai,
Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai.
Barak Lanawa,
Barak Lanawa.
Wa'yashala,
Wa'yashala.
Wahabayasa Paryam,
Wahabayasa
Barak,
Barak.
Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai,
Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai.
Wa'adaman.
Wa'adaman.
In the English, the prayers to bless Israel. Yahweh,
Yahweh.
in the name of Yahweh Shai,
In the name of Yahweh Shai.
bless us
Bless us.
and Israel
And Israel.
and the school.
In the school.
In the name of Yahweh
In the
Shai.
name of Yahweh Shai.
Thank you, so be it.
Thank you, so be it.
Psalms the 121st chapter in the Hebrew. Asha'ah, Ayanya, Ahaharya, Ma'ayan, Yaba'ah, Isaiah, Isaiah, Ma'aim, Yahweh, Aisha, Shamayam, Wa'arataza, Al-Yathan, Lamawat, Wagalka, Al-Yanawam, Shamarka, Hana, La'ah, Yanawam, Wala'ah, Yayashan, Shamar, Yashala, Yahweh, Shamarka, Yahweh, Sazalka, Al-Yad, Yamyanka, Yawamam, Al-Shamash, La'ah, Yakaka, Wayarach, Walayala, Yahweh, Yashamarka, Makal Rai, Yashamar, Adnapashka, Yahweh, Yashamar, Taza'afka, Waba, Wa'aka, Ma'aitha, Wa'ai, I will know. Psalms 121st chapter in the English. I will lift up mine eyes unto the hills. From whence cometh my help? My help cometh from Yahweh, which made heaven and earth. He will not suffer thy foot to be moved. He that keepeth thee, he that keepeth thee will not slumber. Behold, he that keepeth Yashala shall neither slumber nor sleep. Yahweh is thy keeper. Yahweh is thy shade upon thy right hand. The sun shall not smite thee by day, nor the moon by night. Yahweh shall preserve thee from all evil. He shall preserve thy soul. Yahweh shall preserve thy going out and thy coming in from this time forth and even forevermore. We're going to read Psalms the 83rd chapter in Hebrew. Allahayim, Aldama Yalaka, Al Thakarat, Wa Al Thashakwat, Al Kayahana, Awayabika, Yahamaya 1, Ra'ash, Al Imaka, Yarayamwa, Sawadat, Wayatha, Yaitazawa, Al Tazapawanyaka, Amarwa, Yarayamwa, Lakawa, Wanakakidam, Magalia, Wala'a, Yazakar, Sham Yashala, Awada, Kaya, Nawaitazawa, Laba, Yakhadwa, Alyaka, Bayath, Yakarathwa, Ahoya, Arawam, Washmaliyum, Mawa'aba, Wahagaryum, Gabal, Wama 1, Wamalak, Palasha, I'm Yeshabia, Tazawar, Gamashawar, Nalawa, Imam, Ayawa, Zarawai, the Bunny Salah, Ashalaham, Kamadian, Kasaya, Sara'ah, Kayabian, Manakal, Wayashwan, Ashamadwa, Layan, Dara, Ayawa, Daman, La'adama, Sayathamwa, Nada, Yamawa, Ka'ira, Kaza'aba, Kazabak, Katazal, Mana'ai, Kal, Sayakamwa, Ashar, Amarwa, Narasha, Lanawa, Na'awat, Alahayo, Sayathamwa, Kagogala, Kakwash, Kapanyaraka, Ka'ash, Taba'ira, Ya'ira, Kalaba, Talahat, Harayam, Khan, Taradatma, Basa'iraka, Wabasa, Wapafka, Tabahalam, Mala'a, Panyaham, Falawan, Wayabakwashwa, Shamka, Yahweh, Yabashwa, Wabahawa, Ayai, Wakaparwa, Wayabagwa, Wadaiwa, Kayatha, Shamka, Yahweh, Labadka, Al-Yawan, Al-Kal, Al-Rataza. Psalms the 83rd chapter in the English. Keep not thou silence, O God.
Keep not thy silence, O God.
Hold not thy peace.
Hold not thy peace.
And be not still, O God.
Be not still, O God.
For lo,
For lo,
thine enemies make a tumult,
thy enemies make a tumult.
and they that hate thee have lifted up their head.
They hate thee and lift up the head.
They have taken crafty counsel against thy people,
They take crafty counsel against thy people.
and consulted against thy hidden
And
ones.
so against thy hidden ones.
They have said,
They have said,
Come,
Come,
and let us cut them off from being a nation.
let's cut them off from being a nation.
For the name of Yashala
In the name of Yahshua,
may be no more
and
remembered.
be no one remembers.
For they have consulted together with one consent.
They consult together with one consent.
They are confederate against thee,
They confederate against thee.
the tabernacles of
The
Edom,
tabernacles of Edom,
and the Ishmaelites,
the Israelites,
of Moab,
Moab,
and the Hagarenes,
Hagarenes,
Gabal,
Baal,
and Ammon,
and Ammon,
and Amalek,
and Amalek,
the Philistines,
Philistines,
with the inhabitants of
the
Tyre.
inhabitants of Tyre.
Assur also is joined with them.
So also join with them.
They have hope in the children of Lot.
They are hoping the children of Lot.
Salah.
Salah.
Do unto them as unto the Midianites,
Do unto them as unto the Midianites.
as to Sisera,
After the Syria.
as to Jabin,
After the
at the
Ben.
brook of Kasan,
Broken Kassan.
which perished that endure.
Spirit that endured.
They became as dung for the earth.
They became as done for the earth.
Make their nobles like a red,
The nobles like a red.
and like Zeel.
And like Zed.
Yea,
Yeah.
all their princes as Zabah,
All their princes as the bottom.
and as Amunah,
And that's the Buddha
who said,
who said,
Let us take to ourselves
let's take to
the
ourselves
houses of God
the houses of God
in possession.
in possession.
O my God,
Oh my God.
make them like a wheel,
Make them like a wheel.
as the stubble before the wind,
And stumble before the wind.
as the fire burneth the wood,
The fire burneth the wood.
and as the flame setteth the mountains on fire.
And the flames set the mountains on fire.
So persecute them with thy tempest,
Persecute them with thy tempest.
and make them afraid with thy storm.
Make them afraid with thy storm.
Fill their faces with shame,
Fill their face with shame.
that they may see thy name.
That they may see thy name.
O Yahweh,
Oh Yahweh.
let them be confounded in trouble forever.
Then we can find the trouble forever.
Yea,
Yea.
let them be put to shame and perish,
You put the shame and perish.
that men may know that thou,
They may know that thou,
whose name alone
the name alone,
is Yahweh,
is Yahweh,
are the most high of all the earth.
most over all the earth.
We're going to read the blessings in the Hebrew. Barakatah Yahweh,
Barakatah Yahweh.
wa Yahweh Shai,
Wa Yahweh Shai.
wa Ma'aka Allah,
Wa Ma'aka Allah.
wa Lahayim,
Wa
wa
Lahai.
Tazab Ya'ah,
Zab Yah.
Alawab Yahana,
Awap Yahan.
Alawapim,
Awap.
Hasaranya,
Asrayim.
Akwatazayanya,
Kota Zayah.
Akaya Yaya,
Akar Yah.
wa Agwakim,
Wa Akwati.
Yahweh,
Yahweh.
wa Shem Yahweh Shai,
Hashem Yahweh Shai.
and what Aman.
Wa Raman.
In the English, the blessings. Bless you, Yahweh,
Bless you Yahweh.
and Yahweh Shai,
And Yahweh Shai.
and Michael,
And Michael.
and the angels,
The angels.
Commanding General Yahana,
Manager Yahan.
the generals,
General.
the captains,
The captains,
the officers,
the officers,
the troopers,
the troopers,
and the sisters.
and the sisters.
Yahweh, in
Yahweh.
the name of Yahweh Shai,
Name Yahweh Shai.
thank you, so be it.
Thank you so much.
Sorry while you're shopping, you can turn to be seated. If you don't mind, can you get some Frank and Merc on? All right, we're gonna go ahead and get started. All right. Once again, we're gonna be talking about Abraham today, so we'll be in Genesis the 11th chapter. We're gonna read verses 28 through Genesis 12 and 2. All right, so it'll be 7 verses that we'll read to begin. All right. So once again, like I said, we're going to be reading Genesis 11 and 28. All right, this is verse 28. Wayamath, Haran, Al, Panya, Tharach, Abayawa, Ba'arataza, Mawala Dathwa, Ba'awar, Kashabium, verse 29. Wayakak, Abaram, Wana Khawar, Laham, Nashayam, Sham, Ashath, Abraham, Sharyah, Washam, Ashath, Nachawar, Malakah, Bath, Haran, Abaya, Malakah, Abaya, Yasaka, verse 30, Salaki. Wathahaya, Sharyah, Akora, Ayan, La'a, Salaki La, Wala, Salaki Walad, verse 31. Wayakwak, Tharach, Ath, Abaram, Banwa, Wa'ath, Lawat. Bun Harun, Bun Banwa, Wa'ath, Sharya, Kalathwa, Atha, Asha, Abaram, Bun Wa, whereas is Wa, Atham, Mawar, Kashadyam, Balakath, Rataza, Kana'ain, Wayabawa, Aid, Haran, Waya Shabwa, Sham, verse 32, Waya Hayawa, Yam Ya, Tharach, Khasha, it's like a Hamash, Shanyam, Wama Ath Yam, Shana, Wayama, Tharach, Bakaran, verse, it's like this is Genesis 12 and verse 1. Waya Amar, Yahweh Al, Abaram, Laka, Ma'arataza, Ma'arataza Ka, Wama Mawala, Dathka, Wama Bayath, Abaya, it's like Abayaka, Al, Ha'arataza Ashar, Araka, verse 2. Waha Aishaka, Lagoya, Gadawa, Wa'a Abar Ka, Wa'a Gadal A, it's like Gadal Ha, Shamka, Wahaya, Baraka. All right, so that was Genesis, the 11th chapter, verses 28 through Genesis, the 12th chapter, in the second verse. All right, so now what we're going to do, we're going to go ahead and we're going to read this in the English. All right, we'll read it in the English and we'll get a good understanding on it. Once again, we're talking about Abraham today and his faith. Let's go ahead and get that.
Okay. Book of Genesis, chapter 11, verse 28. And Haran died before his father Terah in the land of his nativity in Ur of the Chaldees.
Mm-hmm.
And Abram and Nahor took them wives. The name of Abram's wife was Sarai.
So this is when we really first start to see Abram on the scene. Last week we ended off with some of the genealogies, all right? And in the genealogy, we saw Terah, and Terah is the father of Abram, which is a mighty biblical figure, all right? We find Abraham mentioned all throughout the Bible, all right? And so now this is just going to begin Abraham's story, and it's talking about the fact that he went and his father, so Haran died before his father Terah in the land of his nativity in Ur of the Chaldees, and Abraham and Nahor took them wives, and the name of Abraham's wife is Sarah or Sarai. All right, so it's just talking about his family. All right, keep going.
Okay. The name of Nahor's wife, Milcah, the daughter of Haran, the father of Milcah, and the father of Iscah. But Sarai was barren; she had no child.
And so Sarai was unable to have children. That's what barren means. It means that your womb is unable to produce children. All right, no matter how hard you try. All right, go ahead. That'll be integral to a part of this story as we read on. Keep reading.
Now, verse 31. And Terah took Abram his son, and Lot the son of Haran's son, and Sarai his daughter-in-law, his son Abram's wife. And they went forth with them from Ur of the Chaldees to go into the land of Canaan. And they came unto Haran and dwelt there. And the days of Terah were 205 years. And Terah died in Haran.
So Haran is a part of Canaan. All right. You will hear a lot of people. This is just a side note for the brothers that are fighting in this truth. you may get into a battle where people will say that really the Israelites are actually Canaanites. And they'll say that because of this. They'll say that because Abraham is technically from Canaan. That's just simply not true. Um, the land that you dwell in doesn't make that who you are. Like, for instance, us being in America doesn't make us the white man.
Yeah.
You know, us living in Portugal doesn't make us Portuguese. We're still Israelites. Where the land that you dwell, like for instance, us coming from Africa for the southern tribes of Israel, right? Judah, Benjamin, and Levi came from Africa. That doesn't make us African. So sometimes there will be people like your Hotep guys, right? Your Cometians, your Egyptologists, the people that want you so bad to be African. They will say, well, y'all are claiming to be Israelites, but really y'all are actually Canaanites. Look at where Abraham came from. That's just a fallacy. It's what's in debates is considered a logical fallacy, because Abraham definitely, he was in Canaan, but that doesn't make him a Canaanite. To be an ite of something means you're the son of. So to be a Canaanite means you would have to come from the man named Canaan. So Abraham doesn't come from a man named Canaan. He comes from a man named Terah, who comes from a man named Eber, right? Which makes him a Hebrew, not a Canaanite. So if anybody ever tries to come at y'all with that dogma that we're Canaanites actually and not actually Israelites, just, let them know that they're stupid and they don't understand the Bible and they don't understand ethnicity at all. You have some?
I was gonna say that's one thing I've been seeing kick up lately. That a lot of people, in order to dismiss, the Most High, or dismiss our claims, as Israelites, a lot of them saying that, oh, the Most High is not the Most High of the Bible. So he's really an old Canaanite guy that we just adopted.
And that's another thing that they'll use. They'll use that because Abraham went into the land of Canaan. A lot of these guys will say that, okay, fine, you're an Israelite, but really the customs that y'all have as Israelites come from Canaanites. That's what they'll try to tell you. They'll try to tell you that your customs come from Canaan. And so they'll try to hit you with that. And they'll try to say that, like you said, like the God of the Bible that they were actually worshiping was actually a Canaanite God. They'll try to hit you with that. But what you'll have to do, there was a book, I can't remember the name of the book, but it goes into a lot of the different. Canaan was not it was not a society that was of one God. It was not a monotheist society. They were polytheists. They believed in many gods. That's one that you can hit them with. To say that we adopted their ideologies would mean that we would have to adopt the monotheistic ideology, but that's just not true. We believe in one God, and that's Yahweh. The other thing that you can always hit them with is the fact that they don't have a structured law system like we do. Their law system is not based off of the things that ours is based off of. So they don't have a law that tells you to make a battlement around the roof of your house. They don't have that type of law. They don't have a law that says that if you have a field that passersby can come and take off of your field, and that's not theft. That's for them. Like that's in our Bible, but that's not. Canaanites never had that type of law. They believed in Dagon and different types of God, like the fish god and things. It's just stupid. But the problem is that they're used to debating Christians, and Christians don't actually understand the Bible. And so a Christian doesn't have a defense for that. They can't logically debate the fact or debate the idea that our God comes from Canaan. They can't debate that. They don't have anything up against that. They just say, no, you don't. That's not true. You get what I'm saying? That's all they can do. But with those couple of cuts, you can cut anybody that tries to say that. You have something else? Go ahead.
Yeah, like I said, I was watching a couple videos some weeks ago, just to kind of get, an idea of where they're coming from. And what I noticed that everybody that says that we adopted the guys from Canaan, none of them are always consistent with each other. Like right. I saw one that said that, Mosai is made up of, they took the idea from 3 different gods and made it into one.
Yeah.
But then when you heard this backstory for 3 different gods, like this does not describe the Most High at all.
Well, you know what it is? A lot of these cats, when they do this, when they try to come up against the Bible, what it is that they're using Christian ideologies. because Christianity is pagan. So when the Christianity comes up with the Trinity, well, when you go back into Egypt, there was a Trinity in Egypt. And so they'll say, well, y'all actually got this from Egypt, which Christians did, but the Bible doesn't support that there are three gods or a Trinity.
Right.
So for them to debate a Christian, absolutely, they have a point. The so-called Virgin Mary, right? The Immaculate Conception, that is something that goes back to Egypt, right? With whores, right? But the problem is that there was no Immaculate Conception in the Bible, but Christians adopted that ideology. And so that debate, they would have to have that debate with the Christian. They couldn't debate that with us because we would have to let them know that there is no Immaculate Conception in the Bible. Jesus Christ was born of a man and a woman just like every other human being that's ever existed. That's how science works. That's how babies are made. And you can give them the whole birds and the bees talk and let them know that when two people love each other, in order to make a baby, two people got to love each other, lay down with each other, and the baby pops out 9 months later. So where did it happen? So a lot of the arguments that they have against the Bible is actually not against the Bible. It's against Christianity and Christian ideology. So, but yeah, that's a lot of what they'll try to hit you with. But it's easily refutable if you just study your Bible a little bit. Christians don't have that type of scholarship. They have their ideologies from the Christian church, and some of them even go to seminary school and learn the Bible the wrong way there. But regardless, like the scriptures say in Amos the 3rd chapter, the Most High will surely do nothing, but he'll reveal his secrets to his servants, the prophets. So there's no teacher at a Grand Canyon University or at some of these Christian colleges that offer these programs. There's no university or college or school that's going to give you the information on this Bible that a prophet of God will. So anyway, but that was just something I wanted to just kind of throw that out there while we're talking about Abraham. But go ahead and read Genesis 12 and 1.
Look at Genesis chapter 12 and verse 1. Now the Lord had said unto Abram, get thee out of thy country and from thy kindred and from thy father's house unto a land that I will shew thee. All
right. So now this is once again after Terah died. So Abraham's father died, and he lived to be 205 years. Long time, right? Now Abraham's father Terah dies, and he's in the land of Canaan. All right, where his father brought him, and so now this has become his home. All right, you move with your father to this place, and now this becomes home to you. But now the Lord appears to him. Now the Lord appears to him, and the Lord is telling him to get up, get out of your country, and away from, it says, and from thy kindred, meaning get away from your family too, and from your father's house, which these are all things that a man would have emotional attachment to. A man would always have emotional attachment to his father's house, especially his father just died. All right. He has an emotional attachment to his home, to his family. And the Lord is telling him to get up and get away from all of those things into a land that the Most High is going to show him, a land that's foreign to him, right? Yeah. That's like somebody, we're in Phoenix, right? A lot of us was born and raised here. You was born and raised in a certain place. Matter of fact, we'll use you as an example, right? You from Flint, right?
Yeah.
So you was from Flint and you came out to Tucson originally, right?
Right.
When you made that trip and came and actually made the move to Tucson in Arizona, all the way from Flint, Michigan to Tucson, Arizona, was that a major change for you?
Yeah.
You had to uproot your life, and your family's from Flint too, right?
Right.
So you had to uproot your entire life. You had to leave your family. You had to leave your friends that you might have had there, your job, whatever you had over there, leave your house and come and start a whole new life in a new place across the country. That was it's like a culture shock. It's a lot of things take place in a move like that, right? Because you're leaving everything that you've ever known. All you knew was this place. And now you go to a totally different place with totally different, because the culture different, right?
Right.
The culture different in Tucson than it is in Flint, Michigan, right? And so Abraham had to deal with the same thing, except he was forced to do it. He didn't do it because he wanted to. Abraham had to go to a totally different land and a place he didn't know where he was going. He had to get up out of Flint, Michigan, and just, hey, I'm going to just guide you. Well, where am I going? Don't worry about it. Just get up. I'm going to just tell you where to go. Don't worry about it. We'll get you there. That's like that's
Right.
think about that, right? So he had to uproot his entire style of living. He had to leave his family, his friends, his father's kinsmen, all of those people, all of those places, everything that he known growing up, and he had to go to a place that he'd never known. All right. And it takes some faith to believe that the Most High wants you to do that. And so when the Most High came to him, he told him to do all of those things, right? But then he did that with a promise. He said, if you do this, then I will do this, right? Because God is a fair God. God is fair. He's not like you and I. He'll make a promise to you and he'll keep it, but he also expects something in return, right?
Right.
See, that's all it is. That's what it's always been with the Most High. Then the Most High said, we just read this last week, or I think 2 Sabbaths ago, right? When we read that Noah had to build that ark.
Right.
Well, he requires something from you because he's telling you to build this ark, but also he's going to save you from death. It's kind of like a give and take, you know what I mean? So,
Right.
but the Lord, when he asks something of you, he's always going to give you something in return. All right, so let's see what he offered to Abram in return of him leaving out of his homeland, right? Verse 2.
Verse 2. And I will make of thee a great nation,
Uh-huh.
and I will bless thee, and I will make thy name great, and thou shalt be a blessing.
Yeah, and see, and proof of the fact that the Lord keeps his promises is because we're here in 2024 reading about this right now. I'm on my phone reading it. You're in a paper Bible reading it. Any of y'all can go on the internet and go look this scripture up. You can go to your closest Barnes and Noble and go and pick you up a Bible, and you can read about this. In the most famous book of the world, this man is recorded as one of the greatest men to ever live. And this is the beginning of that. But this is the promise that the Lord made to Abram. He told him that I will make of thee a great nation, and I will bless thee, and I will make thy name great. What does thy name great mean? It means he'll make his reputation great. Abram has a spotless reputation. He has a reputation without spot. Nobody can say anything bad about Abraham. Nothing. Nobody can say anything negative about Abraham. He's a blameless brother that was considered a friend of God. Ooh-wee. What a title to have, to be a friend of God. Think about that for a second. You know, David was like, he's a man after the Most High's own heart. Like, yeah, that's cool. That's awesome. I would love to be a man after the Most High's heart too. But to be a friend of God, think about that. That's a title that I am envious of. I covet that title. To be a friend of God, I could only hope and pray and wish and fast that the Most High would consider me a friend of his. That's something that is nigh unto unattainable. It's beautiful. And so that's the reputation that Abram has. He promised him that. He promised him that reputation. All right. And it says that thou shalt be a blessing. And that's what Abram was. But let's keep reading. There's more to it.
Okay. Verse 3. And I will bless them that bless thee, and curse him that curseth thee. And in thee shall all families of the earth be blessed.
What does that mean? So it says, I will bless them that bless thee, and I will curse them that curse thee. That makes perfect sense, right? Let's just say you got a son. Hey, if they good to you, they good with me too. I'll be, you know what I mean? I'll take care of them. But if they bad to you, well, they got a problem with me too. Right? That's self-explanatory, right? But then it goes on to say, and in thee shall all families of the earth be blessed. What's the one thing that Christians use this statement to mean?
That everybody can be saved.
That everybody can be saved because of Abraham. We're all one under Father Abraham. That's what they all say, right? But what does this actually mean? And in thee shall all families of the earth be blessed. And in Abraham shall all families of the earth be blessed. What does this actually mean?
I could take a shot at it, sir.
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying all the families shall be blessed, meaning that as long as as Israel is on top, everybody will be blessed.
Precept.
Huh?
What's the precept?
Precept.
You could just quote it. You ain't got to go to it if you know it.
Draw the blank.
When the wicked are in authority.
When the wicked are in authority, the earth mourns, but when righteous are in authority, the earth rejoices. Right.
When the wicked are in authority, the people mourn, but when the righteous are in rulership, the people rejoice. What this means that in thee, in Abraham, shall all the families of the earth be blessed. It means that under the guidance and leadership of the Most High's chosen people, there is no rape because that's unlawful. There's no murder because that's unlawful, right? There's no theft, none of that. No adultery. Nobody's taking other people's wives, right? The nations will be blessed because guess what? Under their own authority, they mourn because the wicked are in authority. And so under their own authority, adultery is legal. They can do whatever they want to. People get away with murder every day. People get away with theft every day. This whole land that we sit on right now is thievery. It was stolen from the Native American Indians. And that was completely legal. And people are mourning because of it. Well, what the Most High is telling Abraham is that he's going to give Abraham and his seed, which will eventually be the children of Israel, authority over the entire earth, and the people will rejoice because the righteous will be in rulership. So that is the precept to go to. When anybody brings this up, that's the precept to go to, because that's exactly what this is talking about. All right. That's just a side note. So in thee, all the families of the earth shall be blessed. This is the promise that the Most High is making Abraham. All he got to do is he got to leave his hometown, got to leave his family, got to leave everything that he's ever known. And he's going to go on his own, him and his wife, to this new land. All right, that the Most High is telling him to go to. Let's keep reading verse 4.
Okay, verse 4. So Abram departed.
So Abram did what?
Departed.
So Abram questioned the Most High.
Departed.
So Abram asked why.
Departed.
He didn't say a goddamn thing. He got up and he departed. That's what the Bible say. That's what the Bible records. The Bible don't record him questioning God and having a back and forth with God. Why do I got to go here? My family here. He knew that this was the Most High speaking to him, and he said, you know what? I'm going to listen to the Most High. Khan out of one Khan. Yes, Lord. And I'm going to get up. I'm going to gather my things together. I'm going to get the hell out of here like the Most High commanded me to do. This is faith. This is what faith actually looks like, and that's what today's class is about. Today's class is about the faith of Abraham. You got to have this type of faith, because this type of faith is blind faith. It's blind faith. Think about it. And everybody has something negative to say about blind faith. Oh, you just following them blindly, this, that, and the third. Well, that's what Abraham had. Abraham had blind faith. He didn't know what the hell was going on. All he knew was that God told him, hey, get up, get out of here. I'm going to give you something. That's it. That's all he knew. All right, got you. That's blind faith. But that's the faith that's in the Bible. And that's the faith that we should model ourselves at. We don't ask questions. Listen, Job questioned the Most High, did he not?
Yes.
Job questioned the Most High, and what did the Most High tell him? Were you there when I formed the foundations of the earth? Who the hell are you to question me? Right? Who are you to question the Most High God? Hey, man, look. Just do what the hell I say. And it's that simple. But we're going to keep reading. Read verse 4 from the top again, Baba.
Oh, okay. Genesis chapter 12 and verse 4. So Abram departed, and as the Lord had spoken unto him, and Lot went with him. And Abram was 75 years old.
Lot, Salakia. Lot is Abram's nephew. It's Abram's nephew. Lot will play an integral part of the story as well shortly. We won't read about it, I believe, today. But in Genesis, the 19th chapter, it's something that is extremely important to biblical history. We'll get that. I believe next week we'll be able to cover it. But Lot is his cousin. I mean, it's like his nephew that also went along with him. All right. Keep going.
Okay. And Abram was 75 years old when he departed out of Haran.
And that Haran, once again, is just a province inside of Canaan, right? And so he was 75 years old. He was an old brother. All right. And he had known, that's all he had known was Haran. He lived there because his father brought him there when he was young. Right? And so that's all he had known. But now he's leaving because the Lord told him to. Verse 5.
Okay, verse 5. And Abram took Sarai, his wife, and Lot, his brother's son, and all their substance that they had gathered, and the souls that they had gotten in Haran. And they went forth to go into the land of Canaan. And into the land of Canaan they came. Verse 6.
Mm-hmm.
And Abram passed through the land unto the place of Sikkim, and unto the plain of Moreh.
Mm-hmm.
And the Canaanite was then in the land.
So we're gonna read all of this, right? We'll read all the way through it, but this is talking about the travels of Abram with his wife and with Lot and the various people that he brought with him, right? Keep going.
Verse 7. And the Lord appeared unto Abram and said, unto thy seed will I give this land. And there builded he an altar unto the Lord.
Right, and so now he gets unto the plain of Moreh. And in the plain of Moreh, it says that the Canaanite was in the land, all right? Meaning that it was inhabited by Canaanites. But the Lord appeared unto Abraham and said, look, this place that you see here, I'm going to give it unto you and unto your seed. All right. And so and so Abraham there, he built an altar to the Most High. And that's what you'll find. An altar is like it's just a place of worship. It could be anything, right? So an altar could be it could be a bench if you want it to be, right? And all an altar is just a place of worship for somebody. So it could be a bench that you kneel down and you pray on. It could be a building, right? It could be anything, right? And so what Abraham did is since the Most High was giving this land to him, he built an altar there to signify that this land belongs to the Lord, and this is where I'm going to worship the Most High. All right, keep going.
God. The Lord appeared unto him,
verse 8.
Said, unto thy seed will I give this land.
Mm-hmm.
And there builded he an altar unto the Lord, who appeared unto him.
Go ahead.
Verse 8. And he removed from thence unto a mountain on the east of Bethel, and pitched his tent, having Bethel on the west and Hai on the east. And there he built an altar unto the Lord, and called upon the name of the Lord. And Abram journeyed, going on still toward the south.
Mm-hmm.
And there was a famine in the land. And Abram went down into Egypt to sojourn there, for the famine was grievous in the land.
So this is another thing that we got to talk about, right? Because Abram, as he's on his journey that the Most High is taking him on, he comes into a land that is in a famine. So meaning there's no food there, right? It's hard for us to understand that now in America because we can walk across the street and get food at a corner store. All four corners of this block got food on it. Anywhere we go, we can always get food as long as you got money for it. Well, in a famine, there is no food. That's like anywhere you go to your KFC, it ain't no chicken there. It ain't no biscuits there. You go to your McDonald's, it ain't no burgers there. It ain't nothing there. Nothing you can eat. Anywhere that you go, there is no food. I know it's hard for us to comprehend that in 2024 because we have a surplus of food, especially in America. But imagine everywhere you go, you cannot find food. There is no food. There's no corn. There's no vegetables, no fruit. All of the trees are withered away, so nothing's growing on them. There's nothing that you can eat. It's not even grass on the ground. Okay? That's what Abraham was going through, and that's why it says that the famine was grievous in the land. It was terrible. Imagine no matter what you couldn't even steal food. A homeless person in America could steal food, right? But because there's food at least available, even if we can't afford it, there's food available. You couldn't even steal food because there's no food around. That's how bad the famine was. So Abram goes into Egypt, which also shows Egypt. When you go into the timeline of the Bible, I could teach a whole class on this because there's a lot to be taught on it, right? But when you go into the timeline of the Bible, Egypt has been established forever. Okay, when you go and you look at the sons of Ham and one of his sons, Mizraim, goes and establishes Egypt. And so Egypt has been around for a very, very long time at this point. All right, and it's established. It's got pharaohs already. It's got rulers, kings. All right. And so Abram goes into Egypt to sojourn there because the famine was so grievous. Verse 11.
Verse 11. And it came to pass when he was come near to enter into Egypt, that he said unto Sarai his wife, Behold now, I know that thou art a fair woman to look upon.
Now this is wisdom. All right. what Abraham's gonna do here, he's exhibiting wisdom here because he's looking at his wife. He know he got a bad woman on his side, and he know he going into a land full of evildoers. All right, Egypt don't have a law to say thou shalt not commit adultery, so they don't give a damn if that's your wife or not. They're gonna take that girl, right? So he looking at his wife and say, I know that there are fair women to look upon, right? Verse 12.
Now come, verse 12. Therefore it shall come to pass when the Egyptians shall see thee, that they shall say, this is his wife, and they will kill me, but they will save thee alive.
You know, if he go into Egypt and they know that this is his wife, they're gonna kill him so they can take her. That's how these people get. And this, you got to understand that this is how most societies at that time and still today, this is how these societies operate. All right. They're savages over women. All right. Keep reading.
Now, if I
Go ahead.
So that still goes on today. Like our people have adopted this ideology to want to take another man's woman.
Right.
Like now, that's popular songs that are talking about, how, if make a brother mad, the first thing you're gonna do is go have sex with your woman.
Right, to get at you.
Get at you.
Yeah, and a lot of men will kill you to take your woman because you in the way. That's such a salaki, but just in our culture, you a cornball, brother. For you think this the only woman in the world that you can have, like, so bad you want to kill this man to take. Like, come on, it's so much. It's a lot. It's a lot of. I'll just use the family friendly term. It's a lot of fish in the sea, brother. It's okay. You don't need my wife. You don't need that brother's wife. Go find a single one. It's a lot of single women out there that look very good that you can have. But it's the heathen custom, and I do say custom because I mean it. It's the heathen custom to commit adultery, to go deal with other men's wives, because covetousness is in their nature. And so once again, going back to it, right? Abram is a wise brother. He understands this about the other nations. He knows it's wrong what they do and how they act, but he also understands that that is how they act. So when we go in here, you're not my wife. Because if they know you're my wife, the spirit of covetousness on them will have me killed, and they'll take you however they want to, right? Let's keep reading.
Okay. Verse 13. Say, I pray thee, thou art my sister, that it may be well with me for thy sake, and my soul shall live because of thee.
And so he says, say that you're my sister, that it may be well with me, meaning he'll stay alive, but it goes on to say, for thy sake. Why? Because, go ahead.
No, they're going to violate it.
Exactly. They'll be, they're gonna look at it, but they're gonna be that's that brother. It's his sister, man. Leave her alone. They just trying to find some refuge out here. Leave them. But now if it's your wife, they looking at it. And this is honestly, you gotta understand that this is the mindset. For some people, this doesn't make sense. But if you understand the mindset of these people, this makes perfect sense. Because the spirit of covetousness is about what? What does it mean to covet something?
To take what somebody has.
To take what somebody has. If this just your sister, it's like, it's just your sister. Right. But if it's your wife, she's your possession. Oh, well, then I want her now. And that's what he understood about this nation that he was going into. It's a Hamite nation. They nasty. Right. And so he understands this. And so now, this is another thing that people will try to take and say, well, and they'll say this because we use Abraham as an example, because when the Lord says, or it's like when Christ says, and many other scriptures also say this, but for that you should be perfect in front of the Most High God, we use him as an example, like, well, Abraham didn't sin. But then they say, well, wait, he lied. I got a question. Is lying a sin?
Yes and no.
You can't say there's no such thing as yes or no. Is lying a sin or not?
Yeah, lying is a sin. You can't bear false witness.
Lying, that's so bearing false. Now we're gonna have to talk about this because we're going to clear Abraham's name.
Yeah, well, I will say that lying and this what he lied about wasn't a sin in the sense that, you know what I'm saying, it was for survival.
Let's make this clear. Bearing false witness is a type of lie, right?
Right.
What does bearing false witness actually mean? What are you lying about?
You're lying about somebody. You know,
About somebody what?
doing something they didn't do.
Exactly. That's the type of lie. If I tell you that that couch is white, would that be a lie?
Yeah.
It'd be a lie, right? Because that couch is brown. But is that a sin?
Lie.
Why not?
You know what I'm saying? It's just a couch.
Well, it's not just because it's just a couch, but it's because there's a type of lie that is a sin. Bearing false witness is a sin. If I say that I witnessed somebody commit a murder and they didn't actually commit the murder, that's bearing false witness, because bearing false witness has to do with judgment, right? That's what bearing false witness has to do with, right? However, there is another law in the Bible that tells you that it's almost a thou shalt not lie, and it is thou shalt not deal falsely with thy neighbor. So now I can say that couch is white all day long. I'm just an idiot, right? But if I sell you a couch and I say, yeah, this couch is made out of pure 100% linen, right? And I try to sell it to you, that's a lie, but that is an unlawful lie. You can't lie like that. Why? Because that's dealing falsely with who?
Your brother.
With your brother, which is what the Bible says is unlawful. Can I lie to an Egyptian?
Yes.
About anything?
Yeah.
It's not a trick question. The Bible don't tell you can't lie to an Egyptian, especially if you're just doing it in a crafty way to save your soul and your wife's soul. This is a lie. He's telling these Egyptians that, yeah, this is my sister. That's a goddamn lie. However, it's not. He didn't break any law or commandment. There is no law to say that you can't do this, especially in a time that what he was dealing with to save his wife and his own life. So my point is, the reason why I'm bringing this up, it's a lot to learn from these things, because a Christian will try to tell you, yeah, Abraham was a sinner. He lied to the Egyptians. That's just not a sin. Him lying to the Egyptians is not a sin. It's just not. So I'm only bringing this up. The reason why I'm bringing this up is because I want people to understand that there are certain things that we're reading that Christians will try to use to say, well, nobody's perfect. Let's just stop. Don't do that. People have been perfect. Job was perfect. Abraham was perfect. You understand? I mean, of course, we know Christ was perfect. They'll agree with that, but they think he's God. Right?
Right.
You understand? But there have been people, Ezekiel, Daniel was perfect. The Bible says Daniel was perfect, but they'll try to put sin on Daniel. They'll try to put sin on Job. They'll try to put sin on Abraham and say he lied, and that was a sin. But it wasn't.
Right, that's when I brought that Noah and Enoch were perfect.
Yeah.
I said Enoch didn't even see death the way we see death.
Exactly.
You know, Noah was perfect. That's because that's what he chose to survive the flood.
Exactly. What it say? He was perfect in his generation.
So I've made honest to so people know that you can be perfect.
Exactly. And that's once again, that's why I'm bringing this out. I don't want to harp on this, but I got to. When we would go in old times, when we would read the Bible, like on a Sabbath, for like a Sabbath service, I say old time, I'm talking about back in the times that we read about in the Bible, right? We had our temple and everything. We wouldn't have to break the scriptures down like this because it would be plain as day. We would read these records about our forefathers and we just read them and read them through. And it would be we just read the Bible. Everybody will understand the context and everything. But now we have to break these things down. And I have to tell you about these things because there is going to be somebody that's going to try to use this to prove a point. When that's really not what the Bible has ever been for. The Bible has never been to try to prove a point in a battle, in a debate. But people will use it for that purpose now because they're trying to prove the Bible wrong with the Bible. You get what I'm saying? And so that's the reason why we have to break these things down. So now, did Abraham sin in this? No, he did not sin. It was not a sin to lie to these filthy, stinking Egyptians about his wife or his wife being his sister, right? There's another. I'll get into that another time. There's another thing that people will say. They'll say that he married his sister. They'll say that Sarai was his actual sister, his father's daughter. That's also not true. When we're gonna read it in just a second, it's just his family. People get too caught up in these things. You see how we got to talk about this for 15 minutes before we can read the next verse? The reason why is because other people are getting caught up in it. I'm just trying to give you the ammunition to show them that what you believe about this is actually not true. It's right here. It's very simple. We don't have to go much further than this, and then you can move on, right? But we'll let that pass for now, right? So let's get verse 14.
Okay. Genesis chapter 12, verse 14. And it came to pass that when Abram was come into Egypt, the Egyptian beheld the woman that she was very fair.
Mm-hmm.
The princess also of Pharaoh saw her and commanded her before Pharaoh. And the woman was taken into Pharaoh's house.
These niggas is thirsty, yo. Thirsty. And Abraham knew it. Abraham knew that these cats was thirsty as hell, and he knew what you know when you got a dime. Come on. You understand? You know when you got a dime. You know when you got a dime, and you know that brothers is gonna be looking at her. And so, but the thing is, like in here, we ain't gotta worry about that, right? In here, brothers know that's your wife, they ain't looking at her. She ugly to them. Any brother's wife in here is any brother's wife, period. Because I know the truth, is ugly to me.
Right.
I don't give a damn if she a dime in your eyes, dime in everybody else's eyes. She a one to me. She my sister, love her, but she ugly to me. That's just what it is. We don't got to worry about that in here because we understand that this is our culture to know that when a man marries this woman, that's his possession. You don't look upon another man's possession, right? That's law according to Christ. But he understood that the Egyptians don't have that same culture. Every woman is on the table. You understand?
Right.
And so he know he got a dime piece. And so he like, look, he already understood that these people was going to be looking at her. And he was right. Because as soon as they get in there, this is what's happening, right? They treating her like, oh yeah, we finna get you ready for the Pharaoh. You pretty enough to be the Pharaoh's wife, right? Keep going.
Okay, verse 16. And he entreated Abram well for her sake.
And what did they do?
And he entreated Abram well for her sake.
And they entreated Abram well for her sake. They treated Abram good because his sister was so pretty. But what would they have done to him if that was her husband?
They would have killed him.
They would have killed him. And they would have had their way with her. He knew this. He's wise. He's smart. He understands. And the Lord is on his side. All right? And so, go ahead. You have something?
I was going to say, to be wise about that, you know that now, just like I said, this point, like 75 years old, so he's already heard the stories coming from out of Egypt. What they do if you have a wife down there.
Yeah, exactly. He knows going. He was living in Canaan, right? So he understood. And so, so they treated him well for her sake, right? Keep going.
Okay. And he had sheep and oxen and he asses and men servants and maid servants and she asses and camels.
And they gave him all type of stuff because his sister was pretty, right? Keep going.
Okay. Verse 17. And the Lord plagued Pharaoh and his house with great plagues because of Sarai, Abram's wife.
And the Lord plagued Pharaoh and his house with great plagues because of Sarai, Abram's wife. Why? Because he knew where this was going. Now they're going to treat you a little bit better because this your sister, right? It's not your wife, so we ain't got to kill you, but they still going to try to get at her though. That's your sister.
Right.
So to them, she not married, so they still going to try to get at her. But the Lord understood that union that Abraham and Sarah had was holy. And so they were going to try to step in there. And so the Lord saw what was happening, and he plagued Pharaoh's house because of their sake, right? Keep going.
Verse 18. And Pharaoh called Abram and said, What is this that thou hast done unto me?
And so now Pharaoh understands at this point that this is actually his wife, right? And so he's saying, what have you done to me? Keep going.
Why didst thou not tell me that she was thy wife?
And so now it's been some time that's passed. And so after these plagues come upon Pharaoh in his house, he like, why you ain't just tell me that this was your wife, bro? The Lord is punishing me now because I was looking at your wife with beaten eyes. I mean, I was undressing her with my eyes. I was damn near finna, And so he like, why didn't you just tell me that was your wife? Go ahead.
I got verse 19. Why saidest thou, she is my sister, so I might have taken her to me to wife. Now therefore, behold thy wife, take her and go thy way.
Mm-hmm. He's saying, man, look, I almost laid down with this girl. I didn't know it was your wife. You could have just told me. That's what he's saying, right? Keep going.
And Pharaoh commanded his men concerning him, and they sent him away, and his wife and all that he had.
Now, let me ask you a question. Would this have happened if initially he had walked up into Egypt saying, yeah, this is me and my wife? Would this have been the same outcome? So it wouldn't have been the same outcome, but why not? Why is it now he's willing to just send them away? Because now the Lord has plagued his house. See, this is all divine. Don't let nobody tell you Abraham sinned in doing this. The reason why this had to happen was so that way Abram and his wife could go into this land and escape the famine that was on the land that he was in for a certain amount of time until the Lord decided, okay, now it's time to bring you up out of here. That's it. And you can tell that this was of the Lord because the Lord plagued Pharaoh's house just in time before, like he said, Pharaoh said, I was just finna get down and lay with your wife, bro. I didn't know that was your girl. Man, get out of here. The Lord is plaguing my house right now because of you. And so this is just the Lord doing what he does. Like, you know how people in the church say, like, the Lord works in mysterious ways? I can't blame him for saying that because it's true. The same way that with the 10 plagues in Egypt, when we go into Moses' time, he put 10 plagues on Egypt and hardened Pharaoh's heart each time saying, no, I'm not going to let the people go. He made Pharaoh say, no, I'm not going to let them go. Why he do that? Why he ain't just snap his finger, kill Pharaoh, say, all right, Israel, go ahead and get into your land? Why he make Israel wander in the wilderness for 40 years? He had, huh?
That's what he wanted.
That's what he wanted, but why? There's a reason for it, right? The Lord does these things a certain way because not only do it build character in the person or people that he's dealing with, but these things have to play out the way that the Lord wants them to play out. And so this had to happen like this. The same way that them 10 plagues had to happen and the Lord had to harden Pharaoh's heart. It just happens like this. And so the Lord does what he will. But anyway, we're going to keep going. So let's go into Genesis, the 13th chapter. Let's keep reading. Let's see. Yeah, let's keep reading. Genesis 13.
Genesis chapter 13, verse 1. And Abram went up out of Egypt, he and his wife, and all that he had, and Lot with him into the south.
Mm-hmm.
And Abram was very rich in cattle, in silver, and in gold.
So why did the Lord do what he did? To make him rich. He was able to see. Once again, you see the Lord work in mysterious ways because he went into this land, into Egypt, to escape the famine that was in the land that he was dwelling in. He escaped the famine, and because of the wisdom that the Most High gave him to say that, hey, this is my sister. These people treated him so well because, hey, we trying to get to your sister, bro. Hey, dapping. Yeah, y'all know if any of y'all got a pretty sister. I don't, but some of y'all might. Salaki, that was rude, but I'm just being real, Salaki. But if any of y'all got a pretty sister, right, you might notice that the cats gonna come around you to get cool with you because they really trying to get close to your sister.
Right.
It be like that. And so that's what they was doing in Egypt. All right. They was getting close to Abram, giving him all of the cattle, giving him silver and gold. And remember, we saw that they gave him everything, gave him sheep and all types of things, right? And so that way they could get closer to his sister. All right. And the Lord made it that way so that way he could come out of that land of Egypt with the silver and with the gold and with cattle. So this man come out of Egypt, a goddamn rich man. Okay. Give me verse 3.
Verse 3. And he went on his journeys from the south even to Bethel, unto the place where his tent had been at the beginning, between Bethel and Hai.
So now you go back to the place that was in that famine, right? Go ahead.
Unto the place of the altar which he had made there at the first. And there Abram called the name of the Lord. And Lot also went with Abram, had flocks and herds and tents. And the land was not able to bear them, that they might dwell together, for their substance was great, so they could not dwell together.
All this mean they just had too much stuff. They just had too much stuff, so it's like having a house full of everything. You just got too much stuff. And how y'all ever seen that show Hoarders?
Yeah.
It's like having a house full of just stuff. All right, you gotta buy a storage unit or two to house all of that stuff. And so, but this land that he was in, it was just too much. I mean, excuse me, they had too much for that land, right? Keep going.
Now come, verse 7. And there was a strife between the herdmen and Abram's cattle, and the herdmen of Lot's cattle. And the Canaanite and the and the Perizzite dwelled then in the land. And Abram said unto Lot, let there be no strife, I pray thee, between me and thee, between my herdmen and thy herdmen, for we be brethren.
Right. And so they what a herdman is somebody that you hire to take care of your animals. And so Abram had his own herdman that was taking care of his cattle, but they was on the same plot of land. And Lot had somebody that was taking care of his animals, and those two people got into a fight. They got into strife, right? Some sort of contention over something probably stupid, right? The Bible don't record it, but I would assume it's something probably dumb as hell. And so, so Abram tells Lot, because remember, Lot is Abram's nephew. He said, hey, let there be no strife, I pray thee, between me and thee, right? I know our herdman was just fighting, but me and you, we good because we family, right? Keep going.
Now come, verse 9. Is it not the whole land before thee? Separate thyself, I pray thee, from me. If thou wilt take the left hand, then I will go the right. If thou departest to the right hand, then I will go to the left.
And this, see, we can use this instance to understand something about people, all right? Because Abram and Lot outgrew this plot of land that they were sharing. They outgrew it. Now, they needed more land. And you can use this if you got too many people in your household. Because inside of your household, if there's too many people, guess what can happen? Fights and strife and contention. The more people you have living in your house, the more opportunity there is for disagreement. And so strife can happen. And when it happens, this is excellent wisdom to understand that, hey, maybe we got too much going on in here. Maybe we need to separate a little bit. This ain't bad. Don't look at it as a bad thing, because Abram led this by saying what? Please don't let it be no strife or contention between us, because we brothers. But I can see that there's not enough room for us here. So I pray, can you go left and I go right? We just separate a little bit more. You still my brother. I still love you, but it ain't enough room for us here. Let's separate a little bit. This is the brotherly way to deal with that, right? Keep going.
Okay. Verse 10. And Lot lifted up his eyes and beheld all the plain of Jordan, that it was well watered everywhere, before the Lord destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah. Even as the garden of the Lord, like the land of Egypt, as thou comest unto Zoar. Then Lot chose him all the plain of Jordan, and Lot journeyed east, and they separated themselves the one from the other. Verse 12. Abram dwelled in the land of Canaan, and Lot dwelled in the cities of the plain, and pitched his tent towards Sodom. But the men of Sodom were wicked and sinners before the Lord exceedingly. And the Lord said unto Abram, After that Lot was separated from him, lift up thine eyes and look from the place where thou art northward and southward and eastward and westward. For all the land that thou seest, to thee will I give it into thy seed forever.
All right, so now we're gonna touch back on that soon, right? Because Lot, he went up and he looked upon the plain of Jordan. All right. And inside of the plain of Jordan is that land that's called Sodom and Gomorrah, which the Bible is foretelling because it says this was before the Lord destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah. You see the destruction of Sodom and Gomorrah in the 19th chapter of Genesis. We're in chapter 13. And so it's just foretelling the fact that Lot made a pretty terrible decision to go to that place. All right, because he went to basically where what would be known as the land of Sodom and Gomorrah. And we find that it says, but the men of Sodom were wicked and sinners before the Lord exceedingly. He made a terrible decision to go to that place. We'll read about that likely, I believe next week we'll probably be able to get into it, if not the week after. However, after Lot goes on his way, all right, the Most High talks to Abram and he tells him that to get up, right, and to look around him, look north, west, east, and south, and look at all of this land. He says, understand that I'm going to give this land that you see. I know it's inhabited by other people right now, right? But I'm going to give all of this land to you and to your seed after you, right? And he said forever. So that land is going to belong to Abram's seed, which will, as we all know, will be the children of Israel, right? Let's keep reading.
Verse 16. And I will make thy seed as the dust of the earth, so that if a man can number the dust of the earth, then shall thy seed also be numbered.
And this is just a metaphor, right? For the Lord saying that he's going to have a nation that's going to have a lot of people in it. All right. Now, it's funny because we go into the book of Deuteronomy, we find out that the Lord chose us and we were the least of all nations. Like we were the smallest of all nations. And even in America today, we're called what? Minorities. Like Black and Hispanic people and Native American people are considered minorities in America. But we're scattered all across the face of the planet. The Lord is telling Abram that he's going to make his seed to be exceeding like the dust of the earth. Can you go out and you pick up a patch of dirt? You could pick up a patch of dirt and have 10 million particles of dirt in your hands right there. You wouldn't be able to count them up, right? And so all the Lord is saying here is that in a metaphoric way, you're going to have a lot of kids. You have a lot of kids. They're going to have a lot of kids. And, it's just going to flourish. That's all the Lord is saying. Don't try to take this literal, right? Because if you could number the dust of the floor or the dust of the ground, it would be somewhere in the quintillions, and that many people could not inhabit the earth. So it's not being literal here. It's just being metaphorical. Hey, bro, you're going to have a lot of kids. Okay? Just look at it like that. All right, keep reading.
Come, verse 17. Arise, walk through the land in the length of it, and in the breadth of it, for I will give it unto thee. Then Abram removed his tent and came and dwelt in the plain of Mamre, which is in Hebron, and built there an altar unto the Lord.
Go ahead. Chapter 14.
Chapter 14, verse 1. And it came to pass in the days of Araphel, king of Shinar, Arioch, king of Elasar, Chador Lamor, king of Elam, and the title king nations, that these made war with Bur, king of Sodom, and the Bishra, king of Gomorrah, Shinab, king of Atma, and Shabir, king of Zebulun, and the king of Bela, which is Zoar. All these were joined together in the vale of Siddim, which is the Salt Sea. 12 years they served Lamar, and in the 13th year they rebelled. And in the 14th year they came to Lamar, and the kings that were with him, and smote the
Rephaims.
In the
In Ashtaroth.
and Ashtaroth, Karnim, and the Zuzims, in Ham, and the Emims, in Shava.
It's a lot of crazy words here. I know. I understand. Yeah, go ahead.
In Shava, in Kirathaim.
It's like we speaking another language. Go ahead. Because it's saying, just so y'all understand why we laugh. Y'all read along, y'all understand. But they got Rephaims, which is a title. And then they got the Zuzims, which is a title. And the Emims, which is a title. So it's just a lot of different. All these titles just mean rulers. That's all it is. It's like, what did Edom have? They didn't have kings. They had what?
Dukes.
They had dukes. You understand? So it's the same type of thing. You got kings, princes, dukes, rulers, czars. Yeah, that's all it is. It's just a bunch of different titles. So like y'all, I just thought that was funny. But that's all it's talking about. It's talking about the kings of different lands coming up against Sodom. Sodom was it was a advanced civilization. It was almost like what America is today. Advanced, more advanced than many of the other civilizations. And so kings would come, or rulers, or emims, right? They would come and they would invade Sodom, is what we're reading about right now, to try to overthrow them. Let's read verse 6 and we're going to close out.
Okay. Verse 6. In the Horites, in their Mount Seir, unto El Paran, which is by the wilderness.
All right, so now we're going to stop there because that's our 49 verses for today. But I want everybody to understand that about what we read today. All right, we're going to do a kind of a summary of what we went over today. So once again, I want everybody to take away from this class the faith of Abraham. Understand that Abraham put himself in a lot of sticky situations, a lot of predicaments that most people would be afraid to get themselves into. I mean, he went to so many strange lands, and then he went to Egypt by himself. You don't just go. Egypt was not a place that you just walk into. It's not like America today, where you can just hop on a plane, come into America, and you don't have to explain yourself, right? Egypt was a land that if you came into Egypt, you better have a purpose, or they're just gonna kill you at the gate, right, or at the border. And so he put himself into a lot of these situations, but it was all because of the faith that he had in the Most High, that blind faith that we was talking about. He had that type of faith. Matter of fact, let's read in the book of Hebrews, the 11th chapter. Let's go into Hebrews, the 11th chapter. Let's talk about it real quick before we close out. We got a little bit of time. Yeah, let's go to Hebrews, the 11th chapter. Let's get Abraham in Hebrews 11.
The 11th chapter.
Yeah, we're gonna be at verse 8.
The book of Hebrews, chapter 11, verse 8. By faith, Abraham, when he was called to go out into a place which he should after receive for the inheritance, obeyed. Mm-hmm. And he went out, not knowing whither he went.
And he didn't know where the hell he was going. That's what I was talking about earlier. Right? Abraham didn't know what all the Most High said was, get out of the land that you're dwelling in. I'm gonna tell you where to go. And Abraham didn't ask no questions. He didn't say, well, where are you taking me? He didn't do that. He just said, all right, kind of the one kind. Yes, Lord, I'm gonna get up. I'm going to get my things together, get my family. We're going to roll out. And wherever you lead me to, I'm going to go. He didn't ask no, that's true blind faith. Ain't nothing wrong with blind faith if it's of the Most High. You understand? I understand most people, they take blind faith as like the people that drunk the Kool-Aid. When all them cats committed that suicide because it was in that cult. Right. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah. That's the wrong kind of blind faith. You should know that, hey, this cat, there's nothing wrong with this cat. But when it's of the Lord, just follow the Most High. And I could say your spirit can lead you and this, that, and the third. But that's not true, because your spirit can lead you a whole lot of places. Your spirit can lead you to death, just like them cats that we were just talking about that drank the Kool-Aid. They spirit led them there. But if it's of the Lord, it's going to lead you to life. And that's how you should know whether or not what you're dealing with is of the Most High, because the Lord is not going to lead you to death. And so the Lord did not lead Abraham to death. The Lord led him to life. He led him to an inheritance, which what it says here, it says, go out into a place which he should after receive for an inheritance. And he went out not knowing whether he went. Because the Lord said, hey, if you come out and do what I said, I'm going to give you this, that, and the third. And damn it, he gave it to him. Right? But let's keep reading. Give me verse 9.
Verse 9. By faith he sojourned in the land of promise, as in a strange country.
What do that mean? By faith he sojourned in the land of promise, as in a strange country. He went to the land of promise. Is not what we know it to be today. Before the Most High gave it to Abraham, we didn't know what that place was. He just went to a place that the Lord told him to go to and was there. But it wasn't Israel at the time. It was just a plot of land that the Lord said, hey, this is your land now. It's yours. I know the people are around about you. I know the people are here. But this is where your family that you create is going to dwell. And this will be their promised land. Right? But to him, it was a strange land. We understand it as the promised land now, but to him, it was a strange land. And he had to be okay with that. That's faith, right? Keep reading.
As in a strange country, dwelling in tabernacles with Isaac and Jacob, the heirs with him of the same promise.
Right. And so we'll read so next week, right, when we continue in this story, and we read a little bit more about Sarah. We're going to read about Sarah too in Hebrews the 11th chapter. Hebrews the 11th chapter is all about faith. And it talks about the faith that these certain brothers and sisters had. And it is extraordinary, right? It is extraordinary the amount of faith that these brothers and sisters had. I want y'all to understand that most of us today do not have this type of faith. And I say us because I'm not going to exclude myself from my people. I have the faith, but many of us do not. All right. And we have to get out of that mindset of the lack of faith that we have. Most of us do not believe in the Most High. Most of us as Blacks, Hispanics, and Natives, we have lost our faith in the Most High. We don't have the will and the might to fight to serve our God. We've lost it. And it's been beaten out of us, and that's the problem. It's been beaten out of us for the past 400 years. And all of the different captivities that we've gone through time and time again because of our disservice to the Most High. And now we've lost the will to fight to serve God. But in here, we're trying to regain that spirit. We're trying to kindle that spirit back into you so you can understand that there is a might that you must have to fight to serve the Most High God. You have to fight to do it because it's not easy. America don't make it easy to serve God. Do you know that Donald Trump said that if he gets into office, he's going to make it illegal to speak against Christianity? That's, for one, a violation of the so-called First Amendment, which is the right to free speech. But he said he's going to make it illegal to speak against Christianity. Think about that for a second. That's all we're doing here. We are absolutely Christians, meaning we believe we're followers of Christ, but we speak against Christianity. We speak against the religion of Christianity and Catholicism and that worship of your white Jesus. We speak against that day in and day out. Well, Donald Trump said he's going to make it illegal. It's damn near already illegal because they hate us for speaking it. They block us on YouTube and on Instagram and TikTok, and they take our videos down. But however, you have to fight to serve God. It's a fight. It's not easy to talk about these things. It's not easy to do these things. It's hard to get a damn Saturday off of work so you can come and serve the Lord in the congregation.
Right.
It's hard enough to even do that. You understand? But point being is you got to fight to do it. Abraham did it, and that takes faith. It takes faith. It takes you having the willpower to say, you know what? I'm going to serve the Most High no matter what. I know I'm going to have to go through some stuff. You think Abraham had to go through nothing? You know how scared he must have been going into Egypt, knowing, damn, they might kill me and do things to my wife. And he had to use wisdom to get out of that situation alive.
Right.
Listen, this is the type of thing that you're going to find all throughout the Bible. There's a battle that you must fight every single day to serve the Most High God. That's it. That's a battle in and of itself. Not to mention the other battles that you're going to face in life. But there's a battle in and of itself just to serve the Most High God. It's hard. But that, once again, takes faith. A lot of us have lost the faith, and we have lost the will and the fight to serve our God. And that's the problem. And so I pray that everybody today has taken something from this to understand that the Most High called upon Abraham to serve him. Abraham didn't do no questioning. He didn't ask, why, God? Why do I got to leave my faith? He just got up. He did it. He went through all of the adversity that he was going to go through. All right. And he continued in it. And this isn't it, right? Next week, we'll continue to read. We got a lot more to read about Abraham. And we'll read about Isaac. And we'll read about Jacob. And the physical struggle that Jacob had fighting an angel to receive his inheritance, to receive a blessing from an angel. Like this Bible is full of fight. It's full of fight to receive what you desire from the Most High, right? And so we're gonna find that out. All right. But with that being said, we're gonna go ahead and close out. But once again, like I said, I pray that everybody was able to understand the amount of faith that Abraham had and apply that to your life today. If you can apply the amount of faith that Abraham had to your life today, you can be a true servant of the Most High God. You had something?
God, so we're gonna just speak on that blind faith that you gotta have. You know what I'm saying? That blind faith, you know, was for us who didn't live during times of the Bible. You know, so like we don't see the miracles, but you're in the school, you see the miracles.
Yeah,
that happens, and you gotta have the faith to believe in the Bible, to believe in the book and everything that's written in it.
Yeah,
that takes faith. That takes blind faith. And like Christ said, you know, those there were blessed to see his miracle, but those who believe and didn't see are even more blessed.
Right. That's blind faith. Me believing that Jesus Christ turned water into wine is blind faith. I ain't see it happen, and I'm actually an idiot to believe it. That's why Paul said we are fools for Christ's sake. Because it's kind of ridiculous to think that a man turned water into wine. It's kind of ridiculous to think that a man, my wife studies physics. All right. You can't walk on H2O, but Jesus Christ did. You understand? And so to believe that, it makes me a fool. But what the Bible says is a fool for Christ's sake, because it takes that type of that's blind faith. I didn't see him do that. I didn't witness it. I didn't see Peter take a couple steps on that water and then fall. I didn't see none of that. All I know is that the Bible says that it happened, and I have enough faith in this Bible to believe that it did happen. And it's partially blind faith. Some of it, like that part, is blind faith, but there's good reason to believe in the Bible as well, because a lot of the prophecies that we find in this Bible came true. A lot of the things that we see in this Bible, the science that we find in this Bible, is applicable to what we see today. So there's a lot of reasons that you can believe in the Bible without blind faith, but there are other things that take blind faith, just take sheer blind faith to believe in. God. You understand? God, yes. You know, that's what makes sure spitting in that, So like,
that's what makes sure everybody has to make sure they know that too. That you gotta have that type of faith,
bro. Spitting in the mud, rubbing it together, and slapping it on a blind man's face and making him, a blind man's face. And making him to see, that takes some blind faith to believe in. However, we understand that these things are possible because of the other things that we read in the Bible, the other accounts, the things that we can prove. But besides that, read Hebrews the 11th chapter, the chapter that we was just reading in. All right, you can find that faith is the substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things that are not seen. We got evidence that Jesus Christ did all of those miracles, but we didn't see him. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
We got the substance of things that are hopeful. We hope for the kingdom of heaven, but it's not here. We haven't seen it. It hasn't come down yet. Jesus Christ hasn't cracked that sky with the legion of angels that he's going to crack that sky with. It hasn't happened. We believe that the chariots are UFOs. We haven't seen the UFOs crack that sky yet, but we believe it's going to happen. And so Abraham, and we'll read this in Hebrews the 11th chapter. Abraham never saw the kingdom that the Most High promised him. He never actually saw that promise that the Most High promised him. He didn't see Israel thriving as a nation.
Right.
He didn't see that. He didn't even see Moses. He didn't see none of that. But the Most High promised him that he would get it. And so you just have to, so in his lifetime, he never received any of the promises that the Most High promised him. Until Abraham died, he was still a foreigner. He never owned any land. You understand? He never had a land of Israel. But the Most High promised it to him, and he kept that faith until he died. He died with his eyes glossed over, right? He died still believing that the Most High was going to give him that. And it wasn't until generations later that the promise that the Most High made to Abraham actually came to fruition. And so you got to have that same type of faith. I know it's hard. I understand it. But it's what's necessary. That's why Christ said, if you got the faith of a mustard seed, you know, a mustard seed is this small. It's like the size of a damn sesame seed. It's tiny. If you got the faith of a mustard seed, you can get this kingdom. You know, like I said, we fools for Christ's sake. A lot of people think that we're ridiculous for thinking. Imagine telling somebody in 2024, yeah, we think that Jesus Christ is going to come on a UFO. He's going to crack the sky and a bunch of angels going to be with him. And the UFOs is going to beam us up and take us into the wilderness. And we like, yes, it just sounds ridiculous. But we actually believe that. But that's the type of faith that the Bible requires you to have. People have been faithful over less.
Right.
You understand? People have been completely faithful over less. All right. The things that we're faithful for, the things that we are hopeful for, are something that is the solution to all of our problems. All right. Y'all got faith in the science in the textbooks that y'all read. Y'all got a lot of faith in a lot of things that people tell you. A lot of y'all are faithful in the news reports that y'all see. Y'all see the news reports on Facebook or Instagram, and y'all repost them thinking that it's like actual truth. Y'all got faith in that. Come to find out, the thing that you was reading about was not true at all. People have been faithful over a whole lot less. So the faith that we have is something that that is promised to us. Like, I'm gonna read it real quick in Hebrews the 11th chapter. The second verse, it says, "For by it," talking about faith, right? "For by it the elders obtained a good report." Remember when we talked about Abraham, the Most High said that Abraham was going to be given a name, or he's going to be given a great name. Abraham was given that great name. Why? Because he had that faith. Listen, the Most High, if Abraham would have not adhered to the Most High's instruction, the Most High would have just picked somebody else. Even in the so-called New Testament, it says that the Most High could have made the stones on the ground to be the children of Israel. He don't need us. We need him. And so we have to understand that that type of faith is what was necessary to create such a great name for Abraham. All right. So like I said, next week we'll read more and we'll understand it. We'll get some more. I believe next week we might be able to get into the story of Sodom and Gomorrah. However, we'll just, like I said, continue to roll through this Bible, verse after verse, chapter after chapter, book after book, from Genesis to Malachi for these Sabbath services. And like I said, if y'all tune in every week, y'all will be able to read the entire Bible with all of the breakdowns. All right. So with that being said, we'll go ahead and close out. Let's see. Salaki. All right, we're going to go ahead and close out. So I imagine which means to stand. Panyak with them and close out with the prayers. Sorry. Turn towards the east. All right, we're going to close out beginning with the Lord's Prayer in the Hebrew. Abanawa, Shabbat Shemayim, Kodash, Ayah, Shamka, Yahweh, Alagwatka, Tabaa, Atazaka, Ayah, Asha, Barataza, Kawa, Ayah, Ashamayim, Thalanawa, Alham, Kayawam, Wasalakanaw, Kawatnaw, Kasalaknaw, Kawatinaw, Alaa, Tawiyanaw, Asaiwan, Abal, Awashanaw, Mayan, Rakaya, Laka, Amalakwa, Wa'alam, Wathapara, Livalemia, the Lord's Prayer in English. Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Yahweh, thy kingdom come, thy will be done in earth, as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread. Forgive us our debts, as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not to temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever. So be it. We're going to read the cock of the power in the Hebrew. Yahweh, Ba'Shem Yahushai, Babakushai, Athalanawa Hakak, Akala Rapa'ah, Kal Maka'ala, Akal Madawa, Akala Tahar, Amata Zaraya, Akala Kwayam, Hamathim, Akak, Awakawa, Atama'ala, Agar Shun, Ba'Shem Yahushai, the one Aman, in the English. Yahweh. In the name of Yahushua, please give us the power. The power to heal all manner of sickness. And all manner of disease. The power to cleanse the lepers. The power to raise the dead. The power against unclean spirits. To cast them out. In the name of Yahushua, thank you, so be it. We're going to read the blessings for Israel in the Hebrew. Yahweh, Hashem Yahushai, Barak Lanawa, Wayashala, Wahabayasapayim, Barak, Hashem Yahushai, the Wadaman. What we just said in the English. Yahweh, in the name of Yahushai, bless us and Israel, and the school, in the name of Yahushai, thank you, so be it. Psalms the 121st chapter in the Hebrew. Asha'ah, Ayanya, Ahaharyam, Mayan, Yaba'ah, Isaiah, Ma'ain, Yahweh, Aisha, Shamayam, Warataza, Al-Yathan, Lamawat, Regalka, Al-Yanawam, Shamarka, Hana, La'ah, Yanawam, Wala'ah, Yashan, Shamar, Yasha'ala, Yahweh, Yashamarka, Yahweh, Tazalka, Al-Yad, Yamyanka, Yawamam, Hashamash, La'ah, Yakaka, Wayrak, Balayala, Yahweh, Yashamarka, Makal Rai, Yashamar, Athnapashka, Yahweh, Yashamar, Tazda Afka, Wabawa'aka, Ma'aitha, Wa'ai, Awalam. Psalms the 121st chapter in the English. I will lift up mine eyes unto the hills. From whence cometh my help? My help cometh from Yahweh, which made heaven and earth. He will not suffer thy foot to be moved. He that keepeth thee will not slumber. Behold, he that keepeth Yashala shall neither slumber nor sleep. Yahweh is thy keeper. Yahweh is thy shade upon thy right hand. The sun shall not smite thee by day, nor the moon by night. Yahweh shall preserve thee from all evil. He shall preserve thy soul. Yahweh shall preserve thy going out and thy coming in. From this time forth and even forevermore. Psalms the 83rd chapter. We're going to begin by reading the Hebrew. Alahayim, Aldama Yalaka, Al Thakaras, or Al Thashakwat, All Kayahana, Awayabyaka, Yahamayawan, Ra'ash, Al Imaka, Yawayamwa, Sawada, Wayatha, Yaitazawa, Al Tazapawanyaka, Amarwa, Lakawa, Wanakagidam, Magoya, Wala'a, Yazakar, Sham Yashala, Iwada, Kaya, Nawaitazawa, Yaba, Yakhadwa, Al Yaka, Baryath, Yakarathwa, Ahalya, Adawam, Wachmaalium, Mawa'aba, Wagarya, the Ball, Wama1, Wamalak, Kalasha, I'm Yeshabya, Tazawar, Yamashawar, Lalawa, Imam, Hayawa, Zawa, Labanya Lawat, Salah, Ashalaham, Kamadyan, Kasaya, Saraa, Kayabyan, Wankhal, Wayashwan, Nashamagwa, La'ayan, Da'ara, Hayawa, Daman, La'adama, Shaithamwa, Nada, Yamawa, Ka'ira, Kaza'aba, Kazabak, Ukatazal, Mana'im, Kal, Asayakamwa, Ashar, Amarwa, and Rashad, Lanawa, Ath, Na'awath, Allahaya, Shaitamwa, Kagalgala, Kakwash, Lafanya Raka, Ka'ash, Dawa'ira, Ya'ira, Wakalahaba, Talahat, Aryam, Khan, Aradapma, Masa'irika, Wabasa, Wapathka, Tabahalam, Mala'a, Panyam, Kalawan, Wabakwashwa, Shamka, Yahawa, Yabashwa, Wabahawa, Ayai, Wakapawa, Wayabagwa, Wadaiwa, Hayatha, Shamka, Yahawa, Labadka, Ayawan, Akav, Aratiza. All right, we're going to read Psalms, the 8th chapter in the English. Keep not thou silence, O God.
Keep not thy silence, O God.
Hold not thy peace.
Hold not thy
And
peace.
be not still, O God.
Be not still, O
For
God.
lo,
For lo,
thine enemies make a tumult,
thine enemies make a tumult.
and they that hate thee have lifted up the head.
They hate thee, have lifted up the head.
They have taken crafty counsel against thy people,
And take crafty counsel against thy people.
and consulted against thy hidden ones.
Consulted against thy hidden ones.
They have said,
They have said,
Come,
Come,
and let us cut them off from being a nation.
let's cut them off from being a nation.
That the name of Yasharallah
Then we astrology.
may be no more in
We
remembrance.
now remembrance.
For they have consulted together with one consent.
They consult together with one consent.
They are confederate against thee,
And further against thee.
the tabernacles of Edom,
Tabernacles of Edom.
and the Ishmaelites,
Israelites.
of Moab,
Moab.
and the Hagarenes,
Hagarenes,
Zabal,
Baal,
and Ammon,
and
and Amalek, the
Amalek,
Philistines,
Philistines.
with the inhabitants of Tyre.
The inhabitants of Tyre.
A sword also is joined with them.
So also the drum with
They
them.
have opened the children of Lot.
Lot.
Salah.
Salah.
Do unto them as unto the
He
Midianites,
went to them as unto the Midianites.
as to Sisera,
As to Sisera.
as to Jabin,
As to Jabin.
at the brook of Kasan,
Brook of Kasan.
which perished that endured.
Prayers that endured.
They became as dung for the earth.
It became as done for the earth.
Make their nobles like a red,
And the was like a red.
and like Ze'el.
Like that.
Yea,
Yeah.
all their princes as Zabah,
Or the princes of Sabbath.
and as Zamunah,
That's the moon.
who said,
Who
Let
said,
us take to ourselves
let's take to
the
ourselves
houses of God
the house of God.
in possession.
Possession.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
Make them like a wheel,
Them like a
as
whip.
the stubble before the wind,
The summer before the wind.
as the fire burneth the wood,
The fire burnt the wood.
and as the flame setteth the mountains on fire.
And the flames of the mountains on fire.
So persecute them with thy tempest,
Persecute them with thy sins.
and make them afraid with thy storm.
Make them afraid with thy storm.
Fill their faces with shame,
Fill their face with shame.
that they may seek thy name.
They receive thy
O
name.
Yahweh,
How?
let them be confounded and troubled forever.
To be confounded in trouble forever.
Yea,
Yea.
let them be put to shame and perish.
Put the shame and perish.
That men may know that thou,
They may know that thou,
whose name alone
whose name alone,
is Yahweh,
Yahweh,
art the most high over all the earth.
the most high of all the earth.
We're going to read the blessings in the Hebrew. Barakatha Yahweh,
Rakatha Yahweh.
wa Yahweh Shai,
Yahweh Shai.
wa Ma'aka Allah,
Micah Allah.
wa Allahayim,
Walahai.
wa Tazav Ya'ah,
Zab Yah.
Allah Wap Yahana,
Alawak. Behind.
Allah Wapyan,
Alawak.
Asaranya,
Asuri.
Akwatazayanyu,
Rakatha Yahweh.
Akaya Yayu,
Ka Yahweh.
wa Hagwathim,
Wafi.
Yahweh,
Yahweh.
wa Shem Yahweh Shai,
Sumi Yahweh Shai.
wa Raman.
Walaman.
In the English, the blessings. Bless you, Yahweh,
Bless you, Yahweh.
and Yahweh
And
Shai,
Yahweh Shai.
and Michael,
Michael.
and the angels,
The angels.
commanding General Yahana,
Bring the journey behind.
the generals,
General.
the captains,
The captain.
the officers,
The officers,
the troopers,
the troopers,
and the
And
sisters.
the sister.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
In the name of Yahweh
Give
Shai.
me Yahweh Shai.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Sir, we're going to close out the Sabbath service with a salute. All right, men of Israel, Amajim Shabbat, Amajim Barak, Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai Barakatah, Yajim Matah, dismissed.